Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Cooking with Clifton, where today I'm going to show you guys how to make Chipotle at home. It's going to feed you for longer because you're going to have leftovers, and you're not going to have to pay those exorbitant Chipotle prices. Okay, to start off, we're going to go ahead and start cutting up some tomatoes. Now, the salsa, or I think they call it pico de gallo. Yeah, they call it pico de gallo. I'm Mexican, I should know this. Start off by just chopping up some tomatoes and tossing them in a bowl. You want to get them as small as possible. If you want to get uniform, nice looking, pretty cuts, go ahead by all means. I'm just going to kind of do a rough chop. Just get them small, and like I said, toss them in a bowl. And once you finished up cutting your tomatoes, then we can get started on the rest of the salsa's ingredients. And yeah, look at that. It's a lot of tomatoes. A lot of tomatoes. And next, we're going to go ahead and chop up one purple, pink? I don't know. We're going to chop up an onion like this. And you want to get these nice and small as well. I'm trying a different camera angle here just because it might be easier for you guys to see how I'm cutting it. I wanted to kind of show you guys how to safely cut onions. I said safely, not efficiently. I'm not a professional chef, so the onions are going to come out looking a little scuffed, but that's fine. Again, you're cooking for you. It's not going down whole. Just get them small and, you know, it's going to be fine. It's going to taste great regardless. Like I said, man, it's not going down whole. All right, and then we're going to start on our cilantro. Again, cilantro, I used to have not trouble cutting cilantro, but I never really liked cutting cilantro. It's fairly simple once I kind of adapted the mindset of it's not going down whole. Really, when it comes to cilantro, you just want to roll it up like so, bunch it up, and then chop it finely. Now, afterwards, you might be left with some stems, some bigger pieces than others, but that's fine. You're just going to chop that up and you know, just mince it nice and fine. At the end of the day, like I said, just mince the cilantro as finely as you can, and you should be good. Add it to the bowl, and then you are good to go. Now, we're not finished yet. You've added the cilantro, the onion, and the tomato. Now, probably one of the most important parts of a salsa is the citrus. I'm using lemons and limes for this. I'm using, I believe, 1 lemon and 1 lime, though the recipe will be in the description down below for you to use and replicate. Go ahead and squeeze those in. I got one of these neat little lemon squeezers from a thrift store. Washed, obviously. But, you know, you can use your hands or one of those electric ones. I don't know. I'm using what I have on hand. So, there's that. And, oh, yeah, be sure to pick out those gnarly little lemon and lime seeds, because that's the worst. If you've ever bitten down into, like, guac or even salsa, you find something crunchy that's not supposed to be there, and it turns out to be a seed, you're going to have a bad time. It's not going to mess up your teeth or anything, but it's just gnarly, and it's not really a pleasant taste or sensation. So if you can avoid that, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and add your salt and give it a quick stir, like so. There we go. And pretty soon it's going to turn out like this. It's so good. And salsa this good is good for literally anything. Save it for tacos, save it for breakfast. You can have it on breakfast sandwiches, breakfast eggs, lunch eggs. I don't know. Put it on eggs is what I'm saying. I have it with my omelets, and it's really nice. By the way, if you guys want to learn how to make omelets, or you just want to see how I make omelets, let me know in the comments section down below, and I can show you guys how to make omelets. It's pretty easy once you get it down, but I'm still getting it down, so that's a different video entirely. And if you're looking for a little bit of extra kick for your salsa, like I am in this one particular scenario, feel free to add a jalapeno. Now, jalapenos are pretty... Feel free to add a jalapeno if you're looking for a little bit of extra spice. My sister doesn't like super spicy food, so I generally try to get this pretty small. I try to chop the jalapeno pretty small, which is fine, you know. Go and add those to the bowl, mix them up, and then boom, you're done. That's salsa. That's going to take you like 15, 20 minutes max. And if you make the recipe that I'm showing you here, this is going to make at least 2 big quarts, big containers of salsa. So you're going to have salsa in the fridge for a while. Like I said, put it on stuff you like, put it on stuff you don't like, and maybe you'll like it. Who knows? And for Chipotle, when I'm there, I usually get the corn salsa. I'm not sure if there's a Spanish term for it. I didn't look it up, but they just call it corn salsa, so that's what we're going to make. Go ahead and add 3 cans of corn to a bowl, and then afterwards, add your salt and your citrus. We're going to add some cilantro as well, though I didn't put a video. I apparently didn't record me chopping up the cilantro and onion, but screw it. Add those. It's very good. Hey, man. But like I said, add your lemon, your lime, cilantro, onion. Give it a quick stir. Add salt to taste, and then you are done. And have you ever wondered how Chipotle gets their cream? What is it? Sour cream? Yeah, their sour cream. Have you ever wondered how they get that like super runny? I prefer my sour cream runny because if it's like too globby like this, it sticks in one place and you get like globs. It's not as pleasant. But one thing I figured out is that the way to get perfect Chipotle style sour cream is to actually use lemon. Now, I believe it's called crema. It's called crema, which, if I'm correct, I'm a little rusty at Spanish, but translates directly just to cream. So it's sour cream, you add lemon, and I add a little bit of evaporated milk just to kind of balance out the flavor. You don't want to add too much, otherwise it's going to taste like evaporated milk and you're going to have a bad time. After you've added your evaporated milk and your lemon and or lime, go ahead and mix till combined, and it should come out pretty runny. I like to make mine extra runny because once I set it in the fridge, it ends up solidifying or tightening up a little bit. So I generally go for a little runnier than usual and have it solidify. That's not a good word, but you know what I mean. And then that's it for crema. Like I said, mix, combine, and then cover and set aside, and you're ready for all your crema needs for the week when they arise. So if someone's like, hey, do you have crema? And you're like, yeah, of course I do. And they're like, oh, they're going to be so impressed with you. I guarantee it. And you guys have seen me make chicken on this channel, chop it up, dice it up. You'll see me do the whole shebang with chicken, so I'm just going to speed past this. It's pretty simple, cutting chicken. Really, the main aspect for a lot of new cooks, me included, was just getting past the feeling of it. It's not a pleasant feeling. It's kind of gross, if I'm being honest. But, you know, once you get used to that, it's fine. Just chop it up, and slow and steady wins the race. And that applies to all knife skills. Generally speaking, you see a lot of professional chefs going really fast and chopping efficiently, and you're like, wow, I wish I could do that. And maybe you can do that. You probably can do that. But generally speaking, in my experience, slow and steady wins the race. I'm not trying to look professional. I'm not trying to make the, Iron Chef cut or whatever. I'm just trying to not chop off my fingers, essentially. So do that. And for the chicken, we're actually going to add a little bit of garlic. Now, you can start off with a little knife, just like I'm doing here, and make these cute little delicate cuts and be like, wow, this looks so good on the camera. And then you can kind of slowly start to realize that this isn't super efficient because while the knife is sharp, it's not really doing the chopping needs that you need, It's not pulling it together. So, what you can do, like what I did, is go ahead and toss that little sucker somewhere else, get rid of him, and then bring out his big cousin. I call him Big Mike. Yeah, Big Mike the knife. Use Big Mike the knife to chop up this garlic and make it a little smaller. Just like this. You want to just mince them up. That's the technical term for it. You mince them up. Add it to your seasonings. And speaking of seasonings, I've got them listed down below. From left to right, we have cumin and garlic, oregano, chipotle powder, mixed with chili powder, and salt and pepper. Like I said, left to right. And I'll include all the measurements in the description. And now we're going to go ahead and add our salt and pepper, chipotle and chili powder, oregano, and our garlic and cumin mixture. And then we're going to stir to combine, adding a little bit of oil as needed, just to kind of bind everything together and get any stragglers back in the pot, because we had one little piece of chicken trying to run away, but I won't let him. And like I said, stir to combine, make sure everybody's nice and introduced to the party. And once that's done, it should look something like this. It's going to taste amazing. Now, for some reason, okay, this is a little scuffed of a video, but I didn't record myself putting it in the pot. But you want to heat a pan over medium high heat and dump your chicken in. And that's going to take a while, so I recommend doing that and setting it to medium heat and allowing it to cook while you clean up your station and take care of the rest of your things. And speaking of the rest of your things, my family really enjoys the fajita mix, the bell peppers and onions at Chipotle. I'm not a huge fan of bell peppers, but, I mean, if the family likes them, then I guess I'll make an exception for them. So, again, go ahead and chop up some onions. You just want to get them nice and, I'm not even sure what the term is, but you want to get them like long and straight. You know what I mean? Like you'd get in a salad bowl, essentially. Get them like long and stringy, chop them up, and then you chop up your bell pepper. Again, it's pretty easy to make these look nice, but at the end of the day, it's not going down whole. So if your cuts don't turn out perfectly, or you're a little disappointed, maybe they didn't turn out the way you wanted, it's completely fine, man. It's going to taste delicious regardless. Season with oregano and a little bit of salt. I try not to go too overboard with salt in this recipe because since we have a lot of ingredients coming together, they're all going to bring their own bit of salt and flavor. So if you add a lot of salt to everything, you're going to end up with just a bowl of salt, essentially. Like I said, you got the sour cream, you've got the chicken that's seasoned, you've got guac or salsa, you've got guinea pigs squeaking, hey Buttercup, and then you want to start your rice. Now, rice, I'm not sure if you guys have heard about this, though it's pretty popular from what I've heard. I've actually started washing my rice. Believe it or not, this actually helps out with one of my biggest issues with rice. Now, I love rice, but sometimes it doesn't need to be sticky. There's some recipes where it works and some where it doesn't. And that's due to the starch content. When you wash your rice and mix it up like this, your water's going to turn cloudy. That's all the excess starch that's sticking to the outside of the rice. You want to get that off. So you're gonna rinse and repeat, quite literally, 2 to 3 times until the water runs clear. Add it to your rice machine and add as much water as the recipe dictates. I add a little bit too much oil here. You want to go with a teaspoon. You want to be gentle with the oil when you add it to your rice. About a teaspoon or a tablespoon of oil should do perfectly there. And then, set and forget. There you go. And now that our chicken it's been about 20 minutes since we put our chicken on. I will be honest, it's looking pretty good. It's lost a lot of the moisture that it released, and you want to give it a quick stir. Make sure everybody's nice and cooked. We'll actually do a temp check real quick, just after flipping everybody, making sure no little raw spots are hiding out, ready to poison. Yeah, food poisoning sucks, chat. Flip and stir. And once you start to kind of see the juices and seasoning at the bottom of the pan start to kind of, I guess, solidify, they're going to brown up and golden up. They're just an inch away from burning. That's called the fond, chat. You don't want to burn the fond because that's where a lot of excess flavor is. A mistake a lot of people make is once they're done with the chicken, they wash the pan and then they start making whatever else they're making. And no, if you've gotten your chicken up to temperature, I've gotten mine up to 198. If you got your chicken up to temperature, then this is liquid gold, chat. That's literally just chickeny flavor. It's beautiful. So we're just going to add our onions and bell pepper straight into that and stir to combine. Make sure everybody's, like I said, introduced, mixing, having a good little party in there. And we'll add some water to deglaze the bottom of the pan just to get as much of that flavorful chicken gold out. You know what I mean. But yeah, once you've gotten it all once you've gotten the bottom all scraped out, stir to combine and leave these guys to sweat. The main goal here is we're trying to get the bell peppers and the onions to release a lot of that moisture, so that way they turn out crunchy but not raw. You know, I like my onions and bell peppers crunchy but not raw. So we want to cook them but not overcook them. If you like your bell peppers and onions squishy, that's cool. Go ahead and cook the absolute life out of them. No judgment here. That's cool. I like mine crunchy though. So we're just going to let them steam up and don't cover them like I did. That's how you get soggy bell peppers and onions. Don't do that. And I actually was going to, make some beans overnight. You can use dried beans and soak them overnight and prepare them that way. I just had 2 cans of black beans in the pantry, added some cumin to them, and gave them a nice little mix. Like so. You don't have to get fancy with that, chat. It's easy Chipotle. It's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be everything homemade, handmade from scratch, The important stuff is handmade and homemade from scratch, chat. And more importantly, it's made with love. And at the end of the day, isn't that what matters? That's what I think. And once our rice is done, you're going to quickly realize before fluffing it that you want to change the camera angle. And once you've changed the camera angle, go ahead and fluff it with I would recommend a plastic fork if you're working in a metal rice cooker like this, just so you don't scratch it up. But fluffing it releases a lot of the excess steam and heat, which would cause your rice to, again, clump up, kind of get soggy over time, which is not epic, depending on the meal. In this meal, it's not epic. Add your limes. I added about, how many is that? About 4 or 5 limes. I went kind of lime crazy here. I'm not going to lie. I like limes. And the citrus cilantro rice at Chipotle is kind of crazy. Add your cilantro and then stir to combine. Get rid of any of those big little stem guys like that. And yeah, or just toss him back in. Hey, man, he can come to the party too. There's no height requirement. Give it a quick little mix. And then, boom, you're done. Now it's time to plate up. I don't know why I said plate up like that, but here we go. Plate up, chat. We're going to start with a bowl, obviously, unless you want to put it on the counter. You do you. Scoop in our cilantro lime rice, and then afterwards, we're going to scoop in a nice little portion of our black beanie weenies. You realize you left them on the stove, and you probably shouldn't have said beanie weenies, but here we are. Scoop in those beanie weenies, and I like a lot of beans on mine, so we're just going to get a big old handful and spread them around. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you really get in there, bro. You're doing great. And next is protein. Now, chat, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you work at Chipotle and I get a double scoop and you tell the cashier that I got a double scoop, you're a snitch. But no one's going to snitch on you here, bro. You can get double, triple, quadruple scoop, whatever. You can get as much chicken as you want, and nobody's going to charge you extra. It's completely fine, and nobody's going to care. And it's also good for you. Protein is good for the body. Makes you big and strong. Add your bell peppers and onions. And I actually showed you my recipe for guacamole in my chimichanga video. So if you haven't seen that one, please check it out. It's pretty solid. Chimichangas are one of my favorite things to make, and they're also quite tasty. Then we're going to add our freshly homemade salsa, our corn salsa, a mixture of taco cheese, or whatever cheese you want. Hey, man, it's your party. And then our crema fresca. And there you go, man. It's beautiful. And it's going to taste almost exactly like Chipotle. You whip this out at a party, a function, people are going to be like, wow, this is so good. I didn't know Chipotle did catering. You're like, no, actually, I do catering. And they're like, whoa. And if you actually want to go the extra mile, I would highly recommend the Chipotle flavored Tabasco sauce. This is gas. I've loved this since I was a kid, and it's amazing, especially in Chipotle. But yeah, that's how you make Chipotle at home, chat. I keep calling you chat. I stream on Twitch, and I'm used to talking to people in chat, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, the recipe will be in the description down below if you want to get specifics. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to ask me in the comments, and I'll hook you up to the best of my abilities. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day. I love y'all. Peace out.